Hey everybody, it's Father Andrew. I'm sure by now you've already heard the news that we are going to reopen next weekend, June 20th and 21st. Father Joe and I are both really looking forward to seeing you. It's been a long time and we've missed you, and we're really looking forward to being able to worship together again. You probably already received in an email, or maybe you've seen online, that we have posted guidelines for how we want to come back together again, because we're still concerned about everybody's health and the safety of everybody's well-being. So I just wanted to explain that in a video in case that helps you. So feel free to not watch the rest of this video if the guidelines suffice for you. But if you feel like, an explanation in person like this would be helpful, feel free to continue watching. So the first thing is Bishop Saratelli, and this is true of most dioceses throughout the U.S., has still in effect the dispensation to attend Mass on the weekends. So if you feel like your health would be put at risk by coming, you don't need to feel guilty about not coming to Mass. Okay, that dispensation is still in effect, and our Lord gave that authority to his apostles and to their successors, the bishops. Right? So you don't feel guilty if you think it's a risk for you. We especially encourage, especially if you're 60 years old or older, or have underlying health conditions, that you would remain at home. Right? We encourage you to do that. If you do remain at home, you can still follow along live stream at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, just as we have been doing since the lockdown began. So if you wish to come to Mass and join us here at church, you have three options. The Saturday Vigil Mass at 5 o'clock, the 7:30 a.m. Mass on Sunday, and the 11:30 a.m. Mass on Sunday. So if you notice, it's the same schedule that we normally have, just without the 9:30 Mass. Because again, at that time, we'll be having the 9 o'clock live stream Mass. And part of the reason for that too is we need time in order to sanitize after each Mass in order to follow the guidelines set forth by the diocese. When you do come to Mass, everybody 2 years of age and older are required to wear a mask. You are required to maintain social distancing, 6 feet apart, except for the people in your own household. So with that, we ask that you do not congregate inside the church or outside the church. Unfortunately, we can't have any socializing for the time being until things are a little more safe. And we also encourage you to bring your own hand sanitizer. We will have some here at the church, but we encourage that you also just have some with you to use as you see fit. So with that, I encourage you to, if you need more explaining, feel free to watch the rest of this video, as well as feel free to call us at the parish office or to email. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Again, we're looking forward to seeing you. God bless. All right, so in case you forgot, this is what the entrance to our church looks like, right? So when you come to church on Sunday, these are the only two doors that are going to be open, and they're going to be propped open by our ushers about 15 minutes before Mass begins. Before the doors open, if you wish to come, feel free to line up, but make sure that you're 6 feet apart from each household, right? So if you're coming together as a household, make sure you can stay together. Make sure you're 6 feet apart from everybody else. The other thing too is if you're coming as a household, make sure to come together, right? Because our capacity is at 106, we can't guarantee everybody a seat if they come separately, right? Nor can we guarantee that you can sit together if you enter the church separately. So you will only be counted once you entered through these doors. The ushers are going to be here with clickers. They're going to be counting to make sure that we don't exceed our maximum capacity of 106. So when you come in, the ushers, they'll count you. They'll count everybody in your household. There will be a station here where you can sanitize your hands. There will also be the collection baskets. We won't be able to have collection during Mass, so they'll be stationed. So you see a collection basket over there. They'll be stationed somewhere here in the main entrance where you can offer your weekly contribution. When you come in, make sure you wait for the ushers. They're gonna bring you into the church to a place where you can sit, right? So they're gonna be in charge of distributing all the attendees, everybody who's coming to Mass, to make sure that we're still 6 feet apart from each other. Okay, so it's important we just respect and kind of go with the flow, listening to the ushers with respect and trust in their guidance through all of this. Before we come back to the church, I want to show you a few things over here. So again, there will only be 106 people in here. We won't be having any singing. And we also have collected all the hymnals, all the brochures, things like that. You'll just go to your seat where people, the ushers will guide you, okay? So of course we have our chapel. The chapel will be off limits until further restrictions are lifted, okay? During Mass, please only use the bathroom if absolutely necessary in this bathroom. So our other restrooms will be off limits, but use this restroom here for if you absolutely have to go to the bathroom, okay? If you are coming, so again, the only two doors that are going to be open are going to be at that main entrance. I know a lot of you come through our accessible doors here. These will only be open for people with limited mobility, right? And so there will be an usher here. These doors will be closed. If you are somebody who has limited mobility, wait for the usher to open the door for you. He will let you in. This is really important because we have to keep count of everybody coming in. And so the usher has to communicate with the ushers in the main entrance to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Okay, well, let me show you one more thing. So the East Room, which is normally available during Mass as like a cry room, this will be off limits also. So this will be closed, right? So part of the struggle, part of the challenge, I should say, with reopening is we have to sanitize before and after every Mass, right? In between all of our Masses. So there's a lot of work that goes into this. The sacristy will be off limits to everybody except for the priest, and only those who are sanitizing, again, after each Mass. So now I'm coming into the main church. Before I do, I'm going to pause this to get things set up. So I'll come right back to you. All right. So as you can see, the entrance to the church is right over there. When the usher brings you into your pew, he or she will set you to a pew. Please be, again, respectful and just follow them wherever they seat you. Certain pews are going to be blocked off. You'll see signs that say no seating in this pew. And you'll also be sitting together as a household or as an individual or a couple. They're going to make sure, the ushers are going to make sure that everybody's 6 feet apart, right? So if you're in a household, in the same household, you can sit together, but to make sure everybody is safe, we'll keep everybody 6 feet apart from other individuals, from other households, yeah, you get what I'm saying. When it comes time for communion, the ushers are going to come and they're going to dismiss each pew row by row, right? So when your pew is dismissed, you'll get up and everybody has to get up, even if you're not receiving. You'll come to the center aisle, right? So this is the only line that there will be for receiving communion, right? And there will only be the priest distributing communion. Now, if you look on the ground, you'll notice every 6 feet we have pieces of yellow tape. So when you come to the aisle, make sure you stand on the yellow piece of tape 6 feet behind the person who is on the next piece of tape, right? And of course, as they move, you'll move forward to the next piece of tape. You'll stop until it moves again. And you'll do that all the way until we get to the end of the aisle, right? While the person in front of you is receiving Holy Communion, there will be a station here where you can sanitize your hands. So make sure you sanitize your hands before approaching the priest. When you do approach the priest, make sure, here, I'll put this down. So when you approach the priest, everybody has to receive in the hand. This is good protocol, kind of a recap for how to receive communion, right? Make sure that you have one hand on top of the other, right? And you have your hands at chest level, okay? Don't have your hands down here, don't have them cupped, right? Have them nice and open, right? So that the priest can easily place the host in your hand in a way that he doesn't risk coming in contact with your hand. If for some reason he does come in contact with your hand, he has to stop and sanitize his hands before he can then distribute communion to the next person, right? So notice too, at this point, you still have your mask on, right? So keep your mask on after you receive communion. What you will do after you receive communion, bring the host with you in your hand. And if you notice here, let me see if you can get it. There's going to be a sign here on a music stand. And it reads, "Please demask here, consume the host, then remask and return to your pew." Okay? So after you receive the body of Christ from the priest, you'll come over here. Then at this point, you'll take off your mask, consume the host, and then return to your pew. If you are not receiving communion, simply continue to follow the person in front of you. You can either just come out of line. If you wish to receive a blessing from the priest, that's okay. Just go up and put your arms across your chest, and the priest will give you a blessing, all the while maintaining 6 feet apart from the person in front of you and keeping your masks on. So afterwards, you'll come back to your pew, and you'll sit down, again, just with your household, until Holy Communion is done and over with, okay? At that point, once everybody's seated, once the priest is finished, go on with Mass as usual. There'll be the dismissal. Everybody stands for the blessing. After the priest, after he returns to the sacristy, and so he's not going to go to the back for socializing or anything. He's going to go straight to the sacristy. You won't get a chance to speak with the priest. So if you ever want to talk to any of us, feel free to call, feel free to email, but we won't be able to actually socialize or talk or anything like that. Afterwards, so after the blessing, the ushers are going to come by and they're going to dismiss each pew row by row. And again, it's to make sure that everybody isn't congregating, right? We want to make sure that we're still respecting the 6 feet distance required to maintain the safety of our health. So please be patient while they're doing this. So the ushers, once they come to your row and they dismiss you, you'll get up and of course you'll exit the church, right? So that goes for, making sure we're not congregating. That goes for before and after Mass, right? So I know you're eager to see each other, but just to make sure everybody stays safe, we can't congregate here. So please, once you're dismissed and you leave, make sure you go to your car, and then we'll see you the following week, or even during the week for 9 o'clock Mass. So if you have any questions, feel free to call the parish office, or feel free to email me, and I'll include my email below. God bless you, and again, I look forward to seeing you again. Take care.